Hey there everyone, this is Matt for Creative Reviews. Today we are here with the iPad mini and the iPad mini's smart case. This one comes in leather and costs $69. This one is the product red version. And as you can see in the back here, it shows that you can cover the entire device and set this in typing mode or portrait mode, which is pretty easy. Let's open this up. Okay, all right. Here we have the case itself, and it shows how to put the iPad inside. It's pretty self-explanatory. So let's take a look at the pad here, or the case. It feels really nice and soft. Smells like leather. And on the inside you have a nice kind of suede material. You can see it says iPad mini smart case. And up here you actually have, I guess, a softer portion for the antenna. This one is a cellular model, so it does have that plastic portion for, the cellular plastic part. On the sides here you have some integrated buttons, and on the top, a button here as well. And then openings for the headphone jack, microphones, camera, and I guess your optional mute switch or orientation lock. And at the bottom, space for your stereo speakers and lightning connector. So let's put the iPad mini inside, and it's easy as dropping it in. So this covers the front, leaves everything pretty well protected. I'm sorry, this looks a little bit more orange than red on this, but trust me when I do say this is red. Now, I have had these kind of leather cases before, and it actually began with the iPhone 5 or 5S's leather case. I originally purchased this in the brown shade or kind of tan shade, but what I found happening was, okay, I'm not a dirty person, I do wash my hands and take showers, but I saw that it was actually dirtying up the leather, and not in a good looking way. For example, you want leather items to age nicely. It was not aging nicely at all. It looked like it was a dirty piece. So what I did was I went to the Apple store and actually asked for an exchange for it. And what I did is I got a black case, so that this is not going to show any dirtiness. I mean, black is going to be black and it's going to stay that way. So that's how I protected myself from that. What I may run into here is some discoloration because this is not a black product. And what I'm probably going to see is, since I hold it this way, I'm probably going to start seeing some ugly and dirty discoloration here. And I hope that's not going to be the case. And probably, any way that I'm going to hold it, it's going to get it here. So most likely it's going to be on these edges. So I'm going to let you know in subsequent experience reviews how that's faring, and hopefully this doesn't become the fingerprint magnet and absorb every single oil that I have in my hand and make it look dirty, because when I was using the tan, it did not get tanner or more brown, it got black. And it looked very unappealing, it looked visually unappealing, and it's not something that I would go for again. But in this case, I do like the red because I have it here. I also have the polyurethane red, which you can see is a different shade. And polyurethane doesn't seem to be catching that much fingerprint stuff. But we'll show you here in a little bit how it does fare. Looking at this case, I'm already starting to see some things. I hope we can actually focus in on this. All right, if you can see the edges here, the edges look pretty bad. They look like they're starting to fray already. They're kind of rough, and I know I can't really get this too close, or we'll start blurring. But if you actually look closely at one of these cases, it looks black. There are already starting to be shades of black here, and I mean, I have not even used this before. It looks like a used product that has been frayed and frayed and frayed, and that's really unappealing. I'm not a big fan of that. So aesthetically, I wish they did keep this and the larger iPad with a metal hinge to be better suited for portrait placement. But now I'm starting to see that there are some other issues that I'm having here. Now, for the metal hinge thing that I was talking to you about, this runs into its own separate issue. If you've seen my review on the polyurethane cover for the iPad Air, you'll understand that I don't like this kind of cloth material hinge because it's too bouncy. And it actually does pretty well on the polyurethane, but here it's kind of, well, it's worse. Let me move the camera down here so we can see this as close to eye level as possible. And I'm going to show you a comparison between this and the how steep this iPad Air is. The iPad Air is where I would like the device to be set. And it's a good viewing angle, and I really like how far that is seated. I'm not sure what the degree of the angle is, but it does a good job. Now this one, this is at a more extreme angle, and I feel like if I don't watch myself, I could actually have this kind of tilt over, and as you can see the hinge down here, if you continue to, I don't know, agitate it, it does push back. And in certain cases, when I've been trying to, you know, do some taps or whatever I am doing, maybe drawing, it actually has been pushed so far back and kind of gone up here, it unhinges from this and pushes itself in and then flattens. And there I am with a flattened iPad, and that happens the very same way on here. Unfortunately, you no longer have an overlapping piece as you had, well, the iPad mini never had this, but the full-size iPad had 4 sections. So when you actually flip this here, you had an overlapping piece here, so it would be a much, much more sturdy base. This does have a good footprint, but I constantly find myself not enjoying the how steep this is and the fact that this can sometimes collapse in on itself. Another thing that I don't like is that I used to want to hold a device like so, and if I do that, I crush this. I crush this in and it becomes just a flat piece. Again, the full-size, I'm comparing this to the full-size iPad, and I know this never existed on the iPad mini, but I wish they would do something about this. I want this to be a nice little handle, because I don't want to have to hold it like this and have this kind of be flopping around in the back and shifting. I would prefer this to be like a good grip, and unfortunately that isn't such, and that isn't so. So all in all, I'm not a fan of these kind of, well, polyurethane and in this case leather hinge, but I'm actually seeing this I'm less of a fan here in the leather, because I know they try to counter the degree of the tilt by adding some more fabric here. You know, they have a little fabric edge, but I don't believe they've done enough, and I still think it's too steep. So maybe with age this will flatten out a little bit more, but I'm not a fan of this right now, and not a fan of this looking so frayed already. I just got this too. But for $69, it better be a pretty good case at $70. But it covers the front and the back. It feels nice. It's nice soft leather. It has a good consistent color. This is my favorite red, more than the polyurethane red. It's a deeper, more real red. And on a device like the iPad mini, in this white-silver combination, the apple here is kind of like that old mirrored apple, and I say that's going to catch scratches and fingerprints really easily. So you definitely want something to cover the back of this device. For example, you can get this space gray in either the mini or the Air. The iPad apple here is kind of like a black plastic, which will not scratch or not show scratches as easily. It will show fingerprints like crazy. So my recommendation is, if you have the space gray, go for the cover. If you have the silver with the mirrored back, go for the case to cover everything, because I feel like this will probably show scratches more. I could be wrong. Alright, so this has been Matt for Creative Reviews, and we've been unboxing and taking our first look at the iPad Mini's smart case. This is a leather case, comes in a bunch of different colors. This one's the product red, and get this at Apple or pretty much anywhere else for $69. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Blogger. Let us know what you like and what you don't like, and I'll see you guys next time.